Recording. Okay, gosh, got it. I got to record it. So day 3, discover a message that guides your direction. So we're going to be doing a little writing today. If you feel like making art, just like we've been making art the past 2 days, go ahead and allow yourself that opportunity. If you feel like you just want to take in information while you're doodling or creating, go ahead and do that. We're going to be talking a little bit, and I'm going to give you some examples of how to create your message so that it resonates with people. Okay. And I know that I learned through creating, and that's what I teach through creating, right? All right. I love seeing your faces. Okay, I have a question for you. Who actually went and looked at their vision today from drawing 1? Raise your hand. Oh, we got a couple hand raised. Oh, a few. Any more people? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, good. So remember, the purpose of doing the vision, the visualization, is to check in with the big dream, which is going to be your big reality, right? And in order to do that, you have to check in with yourself every day. And then you're actually looking at, am I making decisions that are coordinated or aligned with that big dream and that big reality, right? They go hand in hand. That's why we start from the end. Okay, so if you, for some reason, are showing up today and you haven't done day 1 or day 2, please go back and watch day 1 and day 2, because each one is a stepping stone. So if you happen to have missed that. All right. Let's see here. For Zana, she won yesterday. I'm going to already show you guys the new prize for today, but I have to can I just spotlight you for just a moment? Because look at, in her vision, standing up with confidence, she had red lips, right? Look at those red lips. Can you show up those red lips today? Woo! Beautiful. She's standing in her power. She's standing in her vision. Okay. So this is that shift. Thank you so much for showing up again. Right. So this is why this work is important, because you wouldn't have, by having that vision, by doing the drawing, there are signs in there. There's a message in there for you, right? And so, how do you incorporate into your life? So that's what we're looking at, right? So her showing up with those red lips today is like standing in her power, because she saw herself as confident when she was wearing that red lips. And it doesn't have to be just when you're showing up to do like your creative practice, right? It can be show up in every area of your life. When you take your kids to the park, you want to show up confidently. When you even cook dinner or do anything in your life, because life is your masterpiece, right? So that was the prize that somebody won, is the Life is Your Masterpiece painting classes, which I'm going to announce at the end today of who won that. I really loved seeing your responses again. And I continue to support each other in this process. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly share with you the price for today. Let me see where it is. It's right here. And let me just put share screen. There we go. Okay. So this is my website. And so today's prize for participation, that means that you're going to show up today and respond in the comment thread, is going to be the Thriving Artist Business Course. So it's about getting into the flow, going from surviving to thriving with this 7-week course. And it's more like an independent course that you go in, and then it's on the back end of my site. And it goes over your vision and mission, how to structure your creativity and your business plan, balancing the masculine and feminine energies in your business, marketing, communicating, building your community and tribe, and looking at your website and newsletters, right? So getting into that money flow and looking at your big picture and legacy, right? So this is going to be course is $397 on the back end of my site, but it's going to be a prize for someone today. So that's why I'm like super impressed for you showing up today for the third day in a row, and I'm going to be giving this away tomorrow. So I'm going to stop share. All right. Oh, I'm going to look at your chat real quick. Let's see. Okay, awesome. So I wanted to just review first before we like dive in. And I made a little chart here because I like making little charts. So we were thinking from the end. So when you're doing manifesting, I have to review that because someone had a question about that in the comments yesterday. It's like, why are you talking about like healing and manifesting? What does it, like, what are you talking about? Like, how does that relate to art? Well, I'm relating it to your art because we're being intentional, right? When we decipher meaning in our art, we have that power to place the meaning behind our work. And that's what's going to resonate with people, right? That's why it's important to know what we're about and looking at the message within it so that we can share that with others and why it's important to us. So we're starting from the end, right? So this is our vision. It was like number one, right? And continuing to look at our vision. And then these are the steps that are going to lead us to the vision, right? So that's why yesterday, which was day 2, we're deciphering the meaning, right? Did you guys have any ahas yesterday of looking at your meaning in your art, your visual vocabulary? Any connections that you were like, I felt good about? You can always put them in the chat here if you want to say, yes, this resonated with me, or I learned something new about myself. Like I said, please have a beginner's mind. Maybe this is something you already practice. Jocelyn said, yes, it resonated. Okay, good. And this is just a technique that I use so that even for my own artwork, when I build a series or when I'm thinking about, you know, what are my next steps? Because sometimes I get lost in my process as well as for creating. And I say, you know, what is showing up for me in my life? And, you know, what direction do I want to go? This is how I can use my art in that way, right? Fran said, yes, magic kept coming up. Kate Tree says, yes, I had branches in my drawing, which I thought would be just extensions of the hearts. Been researching, the branches have energy. Yes, most definitely, right? I always think of when like trees and branches of, sometimes we have to trim our trees. Sometimes our branches are going in too many places, right? We got to conserve our energy too. Awesome. So yeah, so I'm happy that you had some ahas. I'm looking at Jovanita, and yeah, she had some ahas too, right? Because she was doing portrait work and painting pictures of houses. And when she looked at, when I, you know, explained the meaning of houses, wow, you know, they're super symbolic. I mean, everyone needs a home. Everyone needs to feel belonging and security, right? So this is why we're doing this work, so that you can be able to use that as a message, right? So for today, we're going to be doing a statement. Okay. And so this might be something that you've already done. I know that there's some people here that, you know, already write artist statements and things like that. But what we're doing is we're going to be incorporating what we've learned yesterday about our art, right? And then start to make those connections into the statement of how we're presenting ourselves, right? Okay. And I'm going to walk you through this process. So it won't be like too abstract for you. I'm going to like walk you through it, and then I want you to translate it into what you're doing. Rebecca said, it is something I do in other areas of life, but looking at items I use, I brought up some ahas. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. Yeah, so looking at the statement, and seeing how you might be using it already, but how can we use it more effectively, right? And so this is why I think it's so great to work in community, because as we're working in community and you're going to be putting your statement into our community in the Creative Soul and Retreat, people are going to get to know you, what is unique about you, what is unique about your art, what's unique about your service and unique about your offering. And you're going to be clear about that. Right? And this is how we build in community and how we can connect. We create our allies, and we share, so that when we meet somebody and they're like, oh, I'm looking for this type of something, you're like, oh, I know someone, right? This is how we work together. This is how we lift each other up. So that's why we want to get clear and have our message so that we can rise together, so that we can be confident in how we're showing up and what we're sharing. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we get going? No? Okay. All right. So I know that I talked about, I may say, sorry, you joined in late. Oh, it's all good. I'm breaking up a bit. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So I'm going to have a drink of water. So yes, I know at the beginning I had talked about, stepping into your vision. And as you're stepping into your vision, you might come into some struggles, right? And that's just part of the process, right? We learn resilience by being able to look at our life and do the healing work within it, right? I'm going to use this as a sheet. So for even that, because I used this on Sunday for our class, but I'm going to use it again. So we're looking at the chakras and just looking at bringing that energy down for manifesting. When you signed up for doing this 5-day experience, it's a commitment, right? It's a commitment that you are showing up till the end. And this is so important. And this should relate to everything in your life, especially showing up for your vision. And so when things get tough, you're not quitting, right? And things will get tough. Things will get challenging, but it's all about putting on that problem solving hat. It's like, well, how can I make this happen? Right. And so what I see with a lot of creatives, because I've been working with creatives and especially doing like their chakra work and saying, where are you at? Is that we like to live in that vision world, right? We like to have this vision like, oh, it's so great. I'm going to do this and this. And we do. We like to daydream and use our imagination. But when we want to bring down that energy, right, taking those baby steps, and when things get tough, when it has to deal with like our self-confidence, we talk about our time, we talk about money. These are all those lower chakras, that solar plexus, and creating structure and dealing with money and how we price our work and all that stuff. These are the lower chakra work. And this is where we get stuck. This is where the struggle comes in, like how to market myself and how to, put ourselves out there. And we use excuses to stop ourselves. Like you might say, yeah, when I get my website done, then I'll start letting people know about what I'm doing, right? Or maybe I'll just go back to school and then I'll do it. Or maybe when the kids get a little older, or maybe when I make some more money, I'll take that course, right? Like that's what I hear from so many creatives, that it's stopping them. Okay. So, so just looking at that, and if this is some things that are kind of resonating with you, like you have said those things, I want you to look at yourself and really start to see how you can start now. Because the thing is, we get stuck. This is like a mindset trip that we go on. We always think we need to be better at something. We need more of something to move on, right? To do this. And I was thinking of Farzana when she had mentioned that she had wanted to go back to school, but in her vision, she has read the, is it the red tents, right? You don't need a degree for that. You just need to connect with the right people, right? So this was talking about like community and then bringing each other up. And a lot of us already have our own skills that we've either taught ourselves or that we've learned along the way, right? Life skills, experiences that people are going to be able to resonate with you where you're at, okay? So this is why it's important to, when we show up consistently, and we can use our art to help guide us, right? Lisa says, for sure, it's pumping the brakes, excuses that are holding us back. Yes, there's lots of excuses, right? I have to tell you a little story. So last week, I was asked by Florida State University, this is where I got my master's degree. They wanted me to be on a panel to talk about art therapy and my practice. And one of the questions they asked me was, okay, so if you were to go back and do your degree, or do you, what is something that you felt like was missing or wish that you would have known back then? And I said, and I was like, what a great question, because what I felt like I was missing, even though I have an undergraduate in art and I have my master's in art therapy, coming out into the world, it was like a whole different story, right? Like I felt like I wasn't prepared in the way that I should have been. And so I really had to educate myself about how to market myself and what my messaging was, right? And as I did that, I wish that they had either business courses or marketing embedded into my art degree. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that. If you have a background, like, well, why didn't they include that? And this was 20 years ago. And you would think that over the time that things have changed, and they haven't. And I'm just incredibly shocked. I was like, what? They haven't incorporated this? We need these skills, right? We need this to live. These are our basic survival. That's back to that root chakra. These are like basic needs that we have. We need to know how to market ourselves and make money and put ourselves in the world, right? And so the reason I break that up is because this is when we step into our power, we have to learn those type of skills. We have to learn how to do that. And so for me, I do offer my art therapy, which is part of my practice, but another part that I do offer, and I'm just putting that out there, is that I want creatives to stand up confidently. I want creatives to be able to show up and feel powerful in their work, right? And I know that there has to be like a healing element sometimes when we're manifesting, because that's just how the universe works. And I've seen it over and over again, right? And the universe gifts you, right? So part of I have a program called The Art of Healing and Manifesting. It's where it's showing up for that vision. And then I support with that accountability of being able to show up consistently with a game plan, right? When things get tough, because that's just what happens, right? And being able to use your unique skills and skill set to do it, because we've all been gifted with something, right? So that was one thing that I incorporate into my practice and in my program, is that business aspect and the money, and learning how to deal with money and healing that money shame so that it's not scary, because everything that we've learned about it is from our parents and those experiences. So if your parents are like pinching pennies, you're going to be pinching pennies because that's what you know. Right. And so we have to learn a new way to have a relationship with money. It's like almost like a new romance, right? Of being able to love bringing in that abundance and bringing in more of what we want, right? And being open to it. So I just wanted to put that out there to let you know, like, what my intention is and like my mission of moving forward, because I want to bring people up together and bringing people up in community together, and knowing that we can work together as allies in doing this. Okay. Yes, Samay says, I love money and money loves me. Daily affirmation. Most definitely. I have that on my phone too. It's always showing up, right? That's beautiful. Okay, so I know there was a few people that had got a little stuck yesterday, okay? And so remember, we're going back to gaining clarity about our message. And so I had mentioned that, if you wanted a little more deep dive, wanted some structure, you can consult with me with the Creative Soul session. And so I had someone consult with me. It was Rachel. And Rachel, let me find you on here. So she creates, I'm going to draw this out, maybe easier for you guys to understand. Where are you? Let's see you. There you are. So Rachel, would you mind sharing one of your, like, showing your one of your art pieces?
Okay.
Beautiful. That's amazing. Can you,
like, kind of hard because there's a glare, but
yeah. So can you describe that to us?
so it is paint pouring, which is like a technique of mixing water and a medium with paint to get it to flow easily. Mm-hmm. And then you put all the colors together and pour it onto a canvas. And for me, it was a practice in letting go of control and just allowing things to, because you can't really control what the paint's going to do. And it does like really, it all, the different paints and pigments react differently to each other. And if you try and manipulate it, it all turns to mud and it doesn't have all the colors mixed together. So it's one of those things you just have to let it be and let it do what it does. And they take forever to dry. And I'm a very impatient person. So it has also been a practice in patience. And it kind of evolved into being able to express the things that I had no words for and to release emotions and negativity and things that I just couldn't get out any other way but through the colors.
Okay, perfect. I'm taking some notes here. So paint pouring, but letting go of control, patience, releasing emotions, getting it out. Oh, I didn't read that fully. Okay, awesome. And so where she was stuck is she wants to help people, right? And so she's like, well, how do I get from where I'm at to helping people? It's like, do I need to go get a degree in art therapy? Do I need to, I don't know which direction do I need to go? I know the art helps me, but it needs to, like, how do I help other people? Okay. So looking at, I really want you to, make good decisions for yourself, right? And being able to feel confident in it. So just to explain art therapy just a little bit more. So art, and not to change the subject, because I'm going to go back to this, but the art therapy it's trained in, what you do is you get trained in psychological theories so that you have a psychotherapeutic relationship with someone to help them with specific issues such as anxiety, depression, PTSD. And when we get stuck in our patterns of behavior that we've learned from our childhood, right, we can get stuck, right? Mm-hmm. And when we get stuck, the trained therapist helps you get unstuck by helping you with your mindset, by helping you, undo those conditioned thoughts that you have, right? So it's very specific, very trained. But that can be a route if you want to work in a particular population to help them, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if you want to help people and you want to use your art does have benefits. So art meaning that 45 minutes of art making can reduce cortisol levels, meaning that's their stress hormone, right? Mm-hmm. So we know it feels good when we make art, which is great. Now, we can do that. It's not art therapy, because art therapy is really changing those patterns of thinking, those patterns of behavior. But that's not your intention, okay? So that's why you can't be an artist and say, oh, I'm going to go do art therapy. No, because you weren't trained to do that, right? Not that I'm saying that you would do that, but I'm just trying to tell you what the difference is, right? So yes, you can go the route of going back to school and doing art therapy, but you can start where you're at. And when I say I start with your at, what you offering is something really beautiful, that you do want to help people. But how do I get from that point to that point? So the point is being clear with your message. And what you say here has juice, right? It has some meatiness to it. So it helps you cathartically, right? It helps you release your emotions. It teaches you patience. So what we're looking at is, what are the results and the benefit of what you have? And that, wow, you can actually teach this technique to help people relax, have fun, express their feelings through color. It can be in that route. You can explain it in that way, right? So writing a statement, I wrote one for you just so that, I don't know, see if this feels good for you. So you got to see, who do you want to help? I guess that would be the one question. Who do you want to help? Who is
women who have
women
who because women or men, actually, because I help my brother too in the same way. Just people who
adults.
Yes, adults.
Okay.
Some kids, but those are only, kids that I like.
Right.
Retail ruined me for, other people's kids. Adults who feel like they've lost their creativity, or who feel stuck in the mundane and the repetitive,
Okay.
and people who talk therapy hasn't necessarily worked for, because some things don't have words.
But you're not doing therapy, so you wouldn't want
No.
to put any of that language into your context. So that's what the difference is, right? Of
Okay.
being able to say that, this is, like I wouldn't go in that direction. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Because of
Yeah.
there is like a line that
Yeah.
like that wouldn't know how you would market it. So when you're looking at it, it would be more of, I'm gonna just make up something and you say like if this is on the right lines or not. So
Okay.
my name is Rachel, because this is what we're going to be doing in the group, is saying who we are, what it is, what the benefits are, what the results are. And this is what I offer to the world, right? So it's like, my name is Rachel and I make fluid art. Each piece represents a different emotion, because you had talked about each piece, the colors representing different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I find the process helpful for me to release my emotions. Fluid art is allowing the colors to move on their own. You get to let go of control. I offer classes for women who want to relax, have fun, and learn to let fluid art be a way for them to express themselves too.
I like that.
Okay, so it's making a statement. Obviously, you're going to just use in your own words, but it's something that like people can connect to. So it's making that, bridging the gap.
Mm-hmm.
That we can start where we're at and move forward. We don't have to wait till the website's done. We don't have to go get 10 degrees. Like even after I got those 2 degrees, I was still thinking, do I need to go get my license in mental health counseling? Do I need to go get a PhD? We get in that mindset that like we always need more. And that's that ego thinking that
Mm-hmm.
we're not enough. It's just always thinking more, right?
Right now, recently, I wanted to go back to school for, you and I had talked about it, and I think that going back for business to get a little bit of a knowledge base on how to run a business would definitely be beneficial for me, because if I'm going to make money doing this, then I need to know how to use and work with money. And neither one of my parents are very good examples of how to run your own business. So
yes. So the business aspect is really important. I know you've taken classes, but you haven't taken the art of manifesting, because it's the individual support. You haven't done that. That's cool. But that's what the art of healing and manifesting program is that individual support to design your business, right? So it has those the structure behind it, so that you have different income streams coming from different places and how you can build that up, right? So just to let you know, so that you have clarity, because I know that I offer a lot of different stuff, and I know you've taken, you're part of a lot of different of my programs, which is amazing. I love working with you, and I'd love to see your growth. Like I see you leveling up, and I see that, I see, you're like a little shining light. I love it. You're amazing.
And like before you and I met, I never even considered, like, I would give my paintings away to people. I didn't sell them. I didn't, and that was wrapped up in the whole self-worth aspect. And it's been really interesting to see the change in my own self-worth after I started selling paintings. And like, it's been a very interesting and fun adventure so far.
Yes, you're leveling up. That's what this is all about, is being able to, and there's that healing aspect too. Like you feel like you've gone like this underlying, you have to heal to see the manifesting. And that's why I created the Healing Manifesting program, because it's like, that's what it's about. But it has that business aspect too, because the business part is so important. That's those lower chakras, right? Being confident, that's that solar plexus, having fun, creating joy, saying no to things that no longer serve us. And then the root is basically our base. That's the money, it's the family, it's the home structure, right? Creating the structure of the business. So it has these different ways for it to come in. Well, thank you so much. I hope this was helpful for you.
Yes, absolutely.
But you can start now. Like, I want to see you start now. Like, I want to see you posting your statement into the group. Tomorrow we're going to be taking an action step. So it's a little like what, what your action step's going to be. And don't be scared. This is perfect. She's like, no, this is where we have to stand up, right? And it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to feel vulnerable, right? You're going to, and it's good to have fear, and it's good to feel uncomfortable. I love the interviews that we have in the Creative Soul Society membership. And I remember Lana Schlafer, she was talking about how, just really embracing each emotion. Because it's like, there's like these negative emotions where we try to push them away. You don't push away fear. You're just like, it's there and you do it anyway. You
do it anyway.
Yes. Yes. So Lisa says, today we are writing our statement. Yes, you're writing your statement. So just to make it a little bit more clear, let me see if I can make it clearer for you. So we can do this together. Thank you, Rachel, so much for showing up. She's awesome. Let me just read this other comment really quick. And I'm sorry, I haven't looked on the Facebook Live. I will look at comments there too before we move on. Catrice says, I totally relate to this. I facilitate workshops for primarily women so they can flex their creative muscle. Yes, awesome. So many women believe they are not creative at all, but everyone is creative. Yes, they are. I feel women need to be reminded of this side of our creativity, any type, our biological, spiritual, emotional. Most definitely. It's something that has been suppressed and it hasn't been praised and recognized. And we are in this beautiful time of our life, in this age where creativity is being recognized and celebrated. It's like, and let's just stand up more. Let's just ride this wave. Let's put ourselves out there, right? And be clear about who we want to serve. Who is this for, right? It's even better to niche yourself and find out who you resonate with, right? Like I was saying, I work with creatives because I love working with artists or just people who are creative, right? People crave creativity. Yes, they do. They need it, right? It's part of who we are. And you have to nurture it. Most definitely, Lisa. So it's not something that's just, you could spark it, but it has to be nurtured, right? It's almost like that daily practice of being creative in different ways. So even if you're not painting a picture or sculpting something in clay, it's about being able to find other avenues like in your life to be creative, in the way that you decorate your home or the way you dress, right? It's everything about your life. Your life is a masterpiece, right? It's about, you get to create that. Okay. And I'm going to go just to the Facebook. Okay. So just going to, I guess I should have you craft your message. Let me see. Okay, so everything about this is reciprocal, right? You have this offer, this service, whatever you're doing, even if your vision is manifesting a lover. I know there's a couple in here that want to manifest a lover, which is beautiful, right? That's your vision. Everything is reciprocal, right? So it's not just about you, this other person that's going to be amazing that you're calling in. It's really about like what you offer as well, right? It's definitely a shared thing here. So when you're looking at your creativity, whether it's your beautiful painting series that you're going to be offering, you got to think about your clients too, and what they're going to feel like, right? Or what you want them to experience. So this is why your statement should have your intention. Of course, my little Sharpie wants to like die out right now. So this is your intention. What's the results, and so this can include the message, those meanings that you found yesterday, that should be included in here, right? I was thinking of Mona. She was sharing her she had this like spiritual breakthrough, and she was talking about the colors and these portraits that she was creating, and how beautiful that could be the messaging that, you know, goes with this series that she's creating, but also has the art moms. And that could be a thread that goes with the art moms too. Like, you know, did you have a spiritual awakening with becoming a mom? Because it's pretty eye-opening, opening these portals to new beings coming out, right? So your intention, the meanings you found in your art. And so the reciprocal, what are the results? What are the benefits that the person receiving this experience from you, no matter what, if you're doing art retreats, if you're an art therapist, you're creating services. So you want to be specific of who's it for. Okay, so that when we are reading your statement, we're gonna say, oh yeah, I know who Amaya is working with, and I know who he's calling in, and when I need that service, I'm going to go to him, right? Or, but I'm like with Rachel, if I want to go experience that fluid art, and I want to be expressive, that I would go to her, right? For I need that house, I would go to Jovanita. Did I say your name right? Yes, right? And so being clear, so you can have your statement in your art in this post that we put out, right? So that we know who you are and exactly what you're offering. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions about that? Oh, someone wrote, we describe who we are and what our intentions about our paintings are. Yes, but she's missing something. Who wants to know what she's missing? Has anybody answer the question for her? The question is, we describe who we are and what our intentions are. Where are you? Let me find you. Lisa, I'm going to put you on Spotlight. At Spotlight. Okay. Thank you, Fran. She answered it. So we describe who we are, what our intentions are, who the person is that we're creating the series for, who's it for, what the benefits are. Yes, your intention, the benefits, like the meanings that you deciphered from yesterday. And then what are they going to get out of it? What are the benefits that they're going to receive out of it? How are they going to feel? Right? What's their space? When you think about those paintings of this new greenery, these flowers, I'm not sure what you picked in there, but when you create this, right? And you can do another little sketch, a little specific sketch today. How are they going to feel when they bring nature into their home? What's that going to do to their environment? You know, think about that, so that they're like, oh yeah, I want to do that. There's this artist that I adore here in South Miami, and she's gone huge. She calls her artwork is called Green Wall Space. So she actually brings, they're like faux mosses, but she creates big paintings out of these faux mosses. So bringing that greenery, now she works in like Starbucks and like all these big companies. She's like blown up. But she really is nurtured of like how to bring nature into your space and what that feels like. So that was like her marketing, right? And you can look her up, see how she's doing it. You could look at other artists of how they're marketing it, because she's done a really good job. Now she has like a team of people making her art. So it's pretty amazing when you get your messaging and how you can reach people. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Ame says, my purpose statement: to help heal and empower people to live their lives with joy and fulfillment using the power of art, science, and spirituality. I use art for improving mental health, raising your vibrations, and for chakra balancing. Beautiful. And then when you say people, could you get even more specific?
So I mean, the thing is, I want to treat adults. That's first. So that I'm certain about.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just like it when I can see you. Go ahead.
So I know I want to work with adults for sure. I haven't narrowed down an audience yet. Like I have been working on that, but I have still not narrowed it down. But I'm waiting for it to come to me rather than trying to force it. I'm letting it come to me.
Okay, I hear you, Ame. The thing is, I like things coming to me too. I like receiving, but when you put things in action, and you put it out there, and then it will come to you. You'll start to see who resonates with your work. For example, when I first did I did my first outside show, like one of those like tent festivals. I did it one time, and I put myself out there, and I was like, I don't even know who's going to like my work. Right. And so when I started more and more, I started to put my artwork into like boutiques or coffee shops and things like that. Then I started to see who was drawn to my work, right? So you really don't know until you put it out there. And then you kind of get a feel of like, man, I really like that clientele. I really like working with this particular, and you might not know yet, which is fine. But then you can start niching who is your ideal client, and then you can build around what their needs are.
So that's exactly the process I am in right now. So I am looking at finding a niche for myself. But since it's, rather than making it a struggle, I've said, let me just go through the journey.
Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad you're doing it. You're putting it out there and experimenting to see who.
So, I mean, I know that, there will be a certain vibration that I'm going to receive. So, and that's the direction I will be taking it forward in. So that's been a journey. So, I started with wider, now it's narrowing down. So I think it will niche it at its own time, but hopefully this year. That's the year.
Good. And you're putting a date on that. Amazing. Awesome. And then tomorrow we'll set up some dates so that you can say when you're going to do it, right? Those are those action steps. We're taking baby step today of I like your statement a lot.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Jocelyn says she's also struggling to find her niche. Okay. Let me see if I can find Jocelyn. There you are. Do you mind coming up here at Spotlight? Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So if you noticed, I've actually shared my work on Facebook, the one with the sun and the waves and the ocean. So I do a little bit of calligraphy therapy, and I think I'm kind of struggling to find a niche, in the sense like a style where people can identify my work the moment they see it.
Mm-hmm.
And also I want to create, like what you said, a series. So it could be like a series of ocean or like sea. That was like one of my ideas, but I'm not sure if that is something that I want to do for long term. Maybe it's just like for a few pieces and then I might want to change to another theme. So I don't have exactly an identity right now. Yeah, so that's pretty what I'm struggling. And I'm still in the exploration stage to see what I'm actually comfortable with.
Right. I think that's great. And I think what I remember, is it the affirmation calligraphy?
Yes.
Beautiful. So I loved your work, and it was very powerful. And there's so much that you can do with affirmations, and people love affirmations. And
okay.
I definitely encourage you to create a series. And the more that you put it out there, you're going to see who resonates with those affirmations, right? And you're going to see who your audience is. And you don't know until you take that action. So that's why you put it out, you experiment in different avenues. So whether it's Instagram and it's Facebook, and you see who resonates with it. And that's how you find your people, right?
Okay.
And then
so it doesn't
go ahead.
Oh, so it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone will like my work, right? It only attracts a certain group of people.
Not everyone's going to like your work. And that's the part where we try to be like real open, like, oh yeah, just people are going to come to me. No, there's so many artists out there. And let me tell you, I don't like everybody's work. I really don't. Like, it doesn't, but that's okay. I mean, art is subjective, right? There's certain work that I would want to put into my home and bring in. It makes me feel good, right? It's that energy. So you want to find the people that attract to you. And just like for my work, I want my work to be specific too. I want to attract a certain client or someone that resonates with me and feels my vibe and is so happy to bring it in. And that doesn't fit everybody. You're not going to make everybody happy.
Yeah. The thing with Yeah, agree. The thing with business, when you run a business, you're like trying to, you know, make something that suits everyone so that everyone would want to like buy your work. I think that's quite kind of difficult. So like, yeah, I agree with what you said.
It's looking at what motivates you and excites you, and then it's looking at what people are interested in, and then kind of merging the two, right? So you don't want to lose yourself. You don't want to just create something. I mean, I was working with neurosurgeons for about 3 years, and I was going to brain conferences, and I was creating brains because they were selling and putting them in their offices, and it was fun at first. I was making money, and I thought it was awesome, but then I was like, whoa, wait. This isn't like resonating with my soul anymore, and I really want to go in a different direction. And so it's not just about making money and making people happy. It's about listening to yourself and saying, you know, what's with me and in what direction do I want to go to?
Right. Yeah, this is so helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for showing up. Beautiful. Oh my God, time goes by so fast here. So I'm just going to, I can't talk to everybody, but I really do, you know, I love supporting you. So I can open up a few sessions. I think I have like six sessions open for like next week. So if you want to open, like come to a creative soul session and we can dive deeper a little bit more about like the structure or what direction you should go, I have that on the replay page where you can schedule a session there. Okay, so I wanted to let you know that. Fran says, I'm an art therapist bringing communities together to celebrate the unique, magical. I also work one-on-one more in depth. Awesome. I feel like I have more to say there, but I'll get back to you, I guess, in the comment thread as you guys put your comments in there. I can say, well, you could get a little bit more specific there so people will know. Maggie's been here. She's part of the Creative Soul Society membership, and she's been putting her, getting more clear about her messaging and her niche. And so she does like dream analysis as an art therapist. And I was like, oh, how amazing. You know, people want to know about their dreams. And so she's bringing in those people that are interested in that, right? And she works a lot with the LGBTQ. So it's like, awesome. That's another niche that she can go in. So the more niche you are, then they're like, yeah, I need to go in that direction. So do that. Define yourself, you know, stand up as in community so that we know how to refer each other, right? Okay, I want to announce the winner. And I think this person, I don't think the person's here on the Zoom, but I think she is on, I think on the Facebook Live, is Barbie Day Verona Corona. Won the Life is Your Masterpiece classes. So congratulations. I can't bring her on live here, but she has been showing up with her little boy. I don't know if you guys remember her, but she's been giving a lot of sweet comments on everybody and supporting everybody. I've known her for a while. She's been a part of the group where she left and now she's back again. So I'm so excited to see her face and see her showing up here. So congratulations. Amazing. And I'll see the comments on there. So I hope she gets to see that. So for today's prize, I'm going to share my screen so you'll know where to show, here, day 3, where to post your comment. So share screen. Okay. So to win the Thriving Artist Business course, it's an independent course. You get to post a statement about your art or your service, whichever one, and then comment on 3 posts. So it's just day 3, very simple. Post it there, be very clear so we know why we would come to you, right? If you want to put an image there, that's totally cool. We're very visual people. Tomorrow, we are going to be discussing what happens when you listen to your art and its ripple effect on people and how to stand in your power. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I'll wrap it up for today. Let's see. Can you give me the link again for this session? Yeah. Do I have it here? Actually, on the replay page, let me go here. I'll share my screen. Here we go. So this is the replay page, which I have it posted in the group where it has day 1, day 3, and it says schedule a free Creative Soul session. You can go there if you'd like to to schedule, just get more clarity on that. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Mona says, thank you for today. I have to run because I have another webinar. Okay, perfect. Thank you all so much for showing up. And I see you already shifting. I see the red lips. I think of Rosanna and her red lips. Yeah, we rise by lifting each other, right? So show up, post your stuff, give people a comment. If they're missing something, just say, you know what? You could add a little bit more detail here. Or if you've seen their work, you know, give them feedback. Let them know like how they can make it even better and more, I don't know, juicy, right? We want to help and support each other. We want to know what we're doing, right? We're the allies here. Everyone says thank you. Awesome. Have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at noon.